New background. Who dis? Bitch, look at my new background. She's ready for the fall, even though she hates fall. Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio, and welcome to the video, y'all. Well, oof, I still got product in my eyebrows. So, there's that. You guys, today's video, I really wanted it to be all about kind of like fall makeup vibes, just sitting down, chilling with you guys, talking about life, you know what I mean? Just like all that jazz in general. There's also some new palettes I've been wanting to test out. And also, I feel like since it's getting close to like cuffing season, as the kids say these days, I feel like my DMs are a little bit more filled, more than usual, asking for relationship advice and dating advice. And even on Twitter the other day, I was talking to you guys about how important Mo's role was in my life and in my decisions and stuff like that. And I think it's just cool to kind of like sit down and chat with you guys, get ready with me for the day, doing a little fall makeup tutorial. And I also just am really happy about my backdrop, and it makes me want to film even more, so that's fun. But I'm gonna zoom you guys on in and let's get started. Okay, so fall vibes. For brows, I have been just living for a good messy brow for a moment now, and that's what I kind of want to do here. What I have been doing is using the Hourglass Arch Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel, and I've been using the shade Soft Brunette and also Dark Brunette because I'm the type of person where I like to have lots of dimension and colors in my brows, so I'll always start off first with the Soft Brunette, and it's got like fibers, so it's good for people who have similar brows to like myself, where they're a little bit more sparse and curly and stuff like that. So I've just been kind of brushing everything upwards and kind of like over. And since I learned to like brush my brow hairs upwards, I feel like they've just became so much fuller and they've been a ton easier to work with, and I just have been liking working with them and like actually doing my brows. So I'm not a big fall person. So fall is like kind of depressing to me because it means that summer's over. So I was really good at school, like in college and in high school. Like I was really good. Like I graduated my high school with like a 3.9 GPA, and then college with a 3.85 GPA. So like, not that numbers matter, but like, you know, I was like very well applied and I knew how to do things and study and work and all that jazz, but I never liked it. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I never really liked school that much, and it gave me a lot of anxiety. So that's what the fall kind of reminds me of. So once you kind of have those brow hairs brushed up, and I made a little boo-boo here on the edge. Also, I'm playing around with the lighting on my camera. I have the lighting boosted up a little bit more, my ISO and stuff. So we'll see if you guys like this lighting. I'm trying to play around with my lighting more because I feel like it's not there. Like I feel like it could be better. So anyway, I'm gonna be going in with Dark Brunette and really just kind of focusing it in the areas that are more sparse. So for me, that's back here, a little bit in the middle. I'll brush the beginning of the brow just a little bit with it, but not anything too crazy. And then once I get to the arch and like where it's a bit more sparse, that's where I'll start to layer this Dark Brunette a little bit more. And as you can see, it just kind of fits in so much better. And that's basically the same little shits and gigs I do over here. So most of you guys know that I met Riley. He was my ski instructor. So I met him skiing, and I thank God every single day that he made me interested in skiing, because I'm not like a real big sporty kind of girl, you know what I mean? I'm more of like a girly girl, but I can get down and dirty if a bitch needed to. But you know, it's not like my MO. It's not like my forte. I love skiing, and Riley has helped me become a little bit more one with nature, which is kind of fun and cute and different for me. And usually what I do just to like kind of follow up with the brows is just take a little bit of brow pomade, and this is the Kai Brow, and we're using shade Cool Brown, and I'm just gonna fill in some areas, not anything crazy. The biggest part for my brow routine right now is just using those two brow gels. They are so good, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about them, but they're amazing. I'm shocked. I don't know if maybe it's because it's an expensive price point, okay? And the cool thing is you can still move around the product, which I like. Okay, so anyway, I feel like a million times I've told this corny ass story, but it was really hard for me to look at him in the eyes when I first met him because like I felt like a little bit of a spark, and I feel so corny saying that, but it's really true. Like I wish I could just make you guys feel what I felt and still do feel like when we make eye contact. Like it's so corny, but it's so true. Like I wasn't necessarily looking for someone or looking for a guy to date or like any of those things. So it's just crazy to me that instant connection that I felt, and I know that he felt as well. And that's usually how it happens, you guys. Like healthy, good relationships usually happen when you're least expecting it. And that's like my point for this whole video is like, you can't go around chasing love. You just can't do it because it'll never come to you, you know? You gotta let shit come to you. And if it's meant to be, it'll be, let me tell you. I'm using the e.l.f. I really like this brow gel. Also, can you believe this bitch is still on her brows? I need to get my shit going here. I'm gonna be late. So yeah, I feel like in my lifetime, even though I've only been around for 26 years and I know that I have some, you know, more mature women and men out there that watch me, and I know some of you might be laughing at that, but there are also a lot of young women and men that follow me as well. And I always feel like I made so many stupid mistakes in my life when it comes to men and just dating in general that I look back now and I'm like, you were so dumb, Nicole. You know what I mean? To like my past self. And I feel like there's just so much that I've been having on my chest lately, and I feel like, you know, I never really got to like say as much as I wanted to in certain aspects, and I feel like there are some things that I can help you guys with and kind of signs on how to spot if you're in an abusive relationship or a controlling relationship and stuff like that. And I just really want to be someone that can like, you know, help you guys, and maybe you can learn from some of my mistakes and stuff like that. And it just kills me every now and then when I see in my DMs like girls, you know, that are just like so upset about relationships and don't know what to do, and it kills me because I've freaking been there and done that, and it's just tough. And honestly, communication is key. If you don't have communication, you don't have anything with any relationship. So that should always be the number one thing. And that's one thing that I feel confident with Riley about, is I feel like I can talk to him. There have been some exes that I've been with where I felt like, you know, almost like I'm walking on eggshells, or I can't say certain things, or I feel like I have to be this perfect person. Like I was always so obsessed with being the perfect girlfriend that I actually wound up hurting myself even more, you know? And sometimes I still have to like catch myself. I'm like, oh, hey, tell Riley how you're feeling if you're upset with something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just things like little tips and tricks I really wanted to talk about with you guys. So, you know, the biggest thing, number one, is obviously I had a very public breakup, and that was something that was freaking miserable to go through, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I have sympathy now for every single YouTuber and just person in the public eye that has to go through any breakup. I have so much sympathy for you, because like the reality of it is like no one really would care. You know what I mean? And that's bringing me to my first point, is like, if you are in a relationship with someone, it's really hard to mix business and pleasure. Let me tell you, like, it really is. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think realizing that and kind of making decisions on your own and like doing things on your own, like, I think that that's very mature and very like humbling in a way, that like you can do that, and you know that that's not always a good thing, you know? Because I feel like there's so much nowadays where I feel like influencers just in general, a lot of people try to portray the perfect life and can sell that fantasy so well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, I would rather be real with you guys and kind of like have you learn from my mistakes in a sense, because that's always been my thing, is like always in my life I've always wanted to make a difference, and that's always been like my thing. By the way, I use the P. Louise base on my lid, and we're gonna be going in with the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. I feel like this has like some fall vibes, but since it doesn't have like a bunch of fall vibes, I might pop into some other palettes. But the main focus of the eyes today is going to be the Naked Honey palette. And oh my god, I cannot believe there's another Naked palette. God, I always have problems finding this one brush. It's an iconic London brush. I think it's part of their rose gold collection, but if I do not have this brush, I cannot do my eyeshadow. Like, I'm not kidding. So I'm gonna start off with the shade Swarm and put that in a bitch's crease. Another thing that I feel like I learned a lot about, like, just relationships and toxic relationships is, like, no matter what, your partner should always be happy and proud for you. And if they're not happy and not proud for you or proud of you, or just like in general, like if they're not your biggest fan, right there is a big, I feel like, warning sign. Any man or woman who's intimidated by your success in your relationship, that's a no-no for me. Because I feel like myself, like one of my longest relationships that I've had, and this isn't anybody that you guys know specifically, believe it or not, I did have a life before YouTube. Part of why my singing career, why I put that on hold so much, is because of the person that I was dating at the time. I felt as if he was very intimidated by, like, we were both in music, and I felt like he was very intimidated by my success from music because his success wasn't even close to what I was getting. And I don't mean that in a cocky way. I mean, like, I've been very lucky and blessed with my music journey in life, even though it's been very, very short. I feel like I've been very lucky. God's always put me in touch with the right people at the right time, and honestly, that is a God thing. And I'm not trying to bring religion into this. I'm just saying, you know, pay attention to the coincidences. You know what I mean? I felt like I put a lot of my music career on hold and, like, was afraid to be pursuing it mainstream, like my full time, because I was worried about what this guy I was dating was gonna say and was gonna think. And I didn't want to, like, make him feel less of a man if I, like, you know what I mean? It just, and that right there is such a red flag. And ladies, men, gentlemen, women out there, if you're in a relationship and you feel like it's a competition, or you feel like you can't be happy about your successes, or you feel like they're going to bring your partner down, then it's not the right relationship for you. This is a life. Like, this is life that you need to live. And you cannot live it in the shadows of trying to protect your significant other if they're just kind of like jealous or not really happy for your success. Like, Riley is so good about, like, celebrating my successes with me, and that's how I know, like, Riley's a fucking man. Like, he is a man, and he is so awesome and so great because, like, he's so supportive of me, and I've never really had that, which is, like, crazy to say. Next shade I'm gonna go in with is Drip right here. So that's, like, key number one is, like, making sure that you're in a healthy relationship in all aspects, not just, like, love and sex. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be all aspects. And I think that that's so important. And also, now the biggest thing is mixing business with pleasure. And that was a tough one for me. It's just a difficult situation to be in because, like, what if you want to break up with someone that you're working with, or, like, having a big key role in your life that, like, is heavily involved in your business and your work? It's difficult because, like, a lot goes into it. You start to wonder, well, if I break up with this person, how will this be? And, like, what about that? And, like, what about my finances? And what about, like, other people involved and, like, other relationships and other brands, or, like, you know, just in general. And, you know, when it comes to business, there are still some, like, businesses out there that are involved with possibly someone that I was involved with. And, you know, it's just an awkward situation. It is not fun. It is not fun to recover from. So that's why I really recommend not mixing business with pleasure. Of course, your significant other can be there to help you and cheer you on. And, you know, whether it be, like, in my circumstances, like, since I am a YouTuber, like, Riley's there for me when I need him to take photos, and he'll help me with my lighting or, like, shit like that. But, like, I think less is more when it comes to involving your relationship with business, and kind of learn from me from that, because I'm still picking up the pieces, to say the least. Also, another thing that I really wanted to talk to you guys about was food in relationships. I feel like I have had a lot of guys that I've dated, and I don't know if this is just a weird like trait that I think is cute at first that backfires, but a lot of guys that I have been with, and this has nothing to do with Riley, y'all, we are very good, very happy, but a lot of men that I've been with, or boys rather, that I've been with have seriously been more concerned about my diet than anything. And I think that is so beyond weird and a red flag too. Like if you're in a relationship and you feel like you can't eat what you want, you can't do what you want, you can't be your authentic self, then that's a red flag right there. I literally had an ex of mine tell me that all I ate in a day was carbs and had no vegetables, no protein, no this and that. All I had was carbs. And this person was so concerned about that. And I was just like, dude, what the hell? Like, how would you even think to like want to text that to someone? It's so weird to me. I'm going to go in with the Kathleen and Colourpop palette, and I'm going to go in with the shade Garnet. This is where I feel like the Naked palette is missing a little bit of like, I mean, I know that this is like a honey palette, but I do feel like they are missing a few shades in here. And I'm just going to go in and kind of build up that outer crease. Not so much on the inner, just like all the drama on the outer. Yeah, here we go. There's that red I'm looking for. Any type of control, whether it be from eating and stuff like that, and or just like simple things like, you know, whatever. Like I have been in relationships where like I used to like sit in my parking garage and like wouldn't want to like go up to my apartment. You know what I mean? And that's no like way to live your life at all, at all, at all. I also really wanted to talk to you guys about the importance that Mo was in my life, because I feel like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have really got a lot of my stuff together. Mo is like literally my angel sent from above. I don't know what I would do without him. I think everybody kind of needs that click moment in their mind. They need that click that's kind of like, oh shit, I don't think I'm in a healthy relationship. Oh shit, like I don't think that like this is happening. I don't think that this is right anymore. Honestly, Mo saved my life in that sense, because I really felt like I was heading nowhere fast and felt very alone and didn't know where to turn to. And I felt like Mo really gave me the love that I was craving for, the just like courage in a sense. Like I can't even explain to you. He's sitting right there sleeping. What a little angel. I can't even explain to you guys how much Mo has just helped me out. You know, in Coco, the movie Coco, the Disney one, you know when when he's looking for Ernesto de la Cruz, when he's looking for him, I feel like that dog, that spirit guide dog that he has, I feel like Mo is my spirit guide. Like Mo is my angel. He is my guardian angel. He is a heaven-sent gift. And I just love him. I just love him for it. I know this kind of looks all over the place, but it will come together, I promise. I also wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit that like of something that I experienced. Now, you guys know I have anxiety and talk about it a lot on my channel. I even made a freaking video of me crying, which was really hard for me to do and film and upload. And so if you guys are interested in that, definitely go check that out. I one time was in a relationship where I felt as if like no matter what I did, my significant other wasn't happy, and I felt like he had a lot of depression that he took out on me, and I was so obsessed with like fixing someone and like helping someone. I mean, the things that I could tell you guys about this individual, I was just so blind to, is like scary looking back on it now, how blind sometimes we can be in relationships. I mean, this guy used to, like me asking him if I could come over to see him was a problem. You know what I mean? Like that right there should have been a red flag for me, but I was so like infatuated with him and like helping him and being like, I was the one that helped you and fixed you and whatever. But like, you really can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves. Like that's like the biggest thing. And you can't love someone who doesn't love themselves, and they can't love you. So it's kind of like a recipe for disaster. I think that that's a really big thing too, because I always felt in all of my relationships relationships like I wasn't good enough. I always felt belittled in a certain way, or like my love wasn't good enough. Like why am I not getting the love that I want and deserve like back to me? You know what I mean? Like why is that not happening? It wasn't myself. Like it wasn't me. It was these sick and toxic relationships that I was in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go in with the shade Sting right here from the Urban Decay palette, and I'm using the same brush. This is the Morphe M514, and building up all the drama. I feel like with fall makeup, a lot of it is like fall drama on the outer V and then like cleanness on the inside, or at least that's what I think of when I think of fall makeup. And this is just gonna darken up the edges a little bit more. I really want to get this really dark and intense. One of the worst relationships to date that I've been in was like, you know, a high school kind of college situation, and that was the one where like, you know, I felt like I could fix him or whatever, and that was just so mentally draining on me. There are still things to this day where like I'll get triggered and I'm like, ugh. Like, you know, you just feel like, oh God, no. Like, so I feel like a lot of the times people that stay in abusive relationships or don't even know that they're in abusive relationships have to deal with like the trauma of it for so long afterwards. Like it has taken me so long to feel confident in the person that I am, and still even to this day, like I have to wake up and choose to be confident and strong and happy. It's not something that comes to me very easily, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like definitely having my handful of verbally abusive relationships and just like stuff like that in general has not helped. And I think the quicker you can get out of any mess or relationship, the better it is, because the less time you have to spend reminding yourself that you are that bitch. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of us, we lose ourselves in relationships. If there's one thing that I can have you guys learn from my mistakes, is to never lose yourself and always be yourself, and don't be afraid of who you are. And if you feel like something isn't right, then it probably isn't right. I have never had any experiences. Like I had one person cheat on me, but it wasn't even like, it's a big deal. Cheating is a big deal, but like we were so done and over with in that relationship at that time where it was kind of like whatever, you know what I mean? I was like already kind of clocked out. I've never cheated on anyone just because I know like on the receiving end how shitty that is, but like no matter what, you guys have to always remember like trust, communication is key to everything. So if you don't have trust, you don't really have anything. You guys, I'm loving the way this eye look is coming out. Loving it. Oh my God, I've been talking for 11 minutes straight. So I'm going to be cutting my crease with the Colourpop No Filter Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair 00. It's basically white. And I'm going to be putting it on the back of my hand, like so, and then using, actually, yeah, I might try to put some of it on like this, but I'm not like 1000% sure yet. We shall see. Okay, so I want to make sure to set that very quickly, and I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette in the shade Flyby right here. It's a little bit off-white, so it might change the color a little bit. We're just gonna set everything and then do the same thing to the other eye. We gotta wing it out. Gotta wing it out. You guys, I feel like I'm gonna get shit on, but I really have been liking Kylie Cosmetics eyeliner. I'm not kidding. I really like it. Okay, I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of liner. You guys have seen me do this 1,000 times. Just slide her on in, you know what I'm saying? A little fall liner for you. AKA just everyday liner. The mascara I've been using a lot lately that I've been getting a lot of compliments on is this Laura Mercier Caviar Volume. Just gonna go in and prep for the falsies. And then I actually already have falsies here. These are the Miami, So Extra Miami. I really love these. And then I also wanted to talk to you guys, like I'm gonna finish up this eye look because a girl gotta get cracking. She's spending too much time being a chiacchierone, which is chatterbox in Italian. I gotta get my shit together here because I gotta leave in like less than an hour and we only have the eyes done. But I really also want to tell you guys about like ways that you can get out of a relationship if you feel like it's bad, or like, you know, some signs that you can tell. I'm using the Tarte Lash Glue. I actually really like I have to blend this a little bit more on this side. This is driving me up a wall. I really like this Tarte Lash Glue because it doesn't like pull on your real lashes, and it's easy to apply and it dries fast. It's just easy to use overall. All right, and then let's pop these lashes on. I'll always press hard in the center and then the outer corner, and then lastly on the inner corner. Okay, so for primer. Okay, so I'm going in with my Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. This is my favorite primer currently. I've been using it a lot. And I also notice it's really brightening up my skin, especially my under eyes too. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 situation here. And I'm just going to wipe away some of this shadow here because I don't think we need that anymore, you know? So for foundation, I'm going to be going in with the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear. I really have been liking this foundation a lot lately, you guys. But yeah, I feel like ways that you can tell you're in kind of like some sort of an unhealthy or an abusive relationship, or however you want to say it, verbally abusive, is like if you're afraid. Like if you're afraid of your significant other, that shouldn't be a good sign, like ever. And I also feel like if they're controlling you, or if there's anything ever along those lines, that's also not a good sign. Or if the person is like worried about what you're eating and just like regular day things that are just so weird. I mean, those are good signs. Sometimes you might be a little bit blind to the signs, but I feel like overall those are like typically the signs. And you can choose to ignore the signs, but they're not going to change and they're not going to go anywhere. Honestly, I do feel like people can slightly change, but I also don't really feel like, I mean, what you get is what you get with a person, you know what I mean? Looking at those signs right away, and if any of those things that I've said to you guys today or in this video at all, like if you're experiencing any of those things, I think it's safe to say that you're experiencing not a healthy relationship, you know? And it's okay, because the quicker you realize things, the quicker you can get out of it and change things in your life, because like you control your life at the end of the day. There was so much shit I felt like I worried about when I was in college, and like, oh my God, I need to have a boyfriend. I can't be without a boyfriend. I need a boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, dude, relax. Honestly wish that I was single when I was in college. Like, I feel like it's so stupid. I mean, sometimes it works out and that's great for the people it does work out for, but I feel like I was very stupid to be in like serious relationships when I was in college and even in high school. Like, I feel like it was really stupid. Like, I feel like a lot of my time was wasted, and like a lot of time spent with friends I could have had was wasted and like taken away because I felt like I needed to have a boyfriend, and if I wasn't hanging out with my boyfriend, blah, 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 you know, like just crazy things like that. And the purpose of this video is to kind of like help you guys and just like talk about stuff, you know, get it off your chest, get it out in the open. I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Super Stay Concealer in shade 18. I've only used this concealer once, so we'll see how it is. I feel like this eye look is really fall vibes, you know, like vampy fall vibes. And then I'm going in with this cream contour. This is the Marc Jacobs Accomplice. I feel like if I don't cream contour, my life is just over, you know. And then not anything really different here, just blending her out. I want to do a video talking about my pet peeves, because the other day I had mentioned them on Twitter and I got so many funny responses, and so many people are annoyed at the same things that I'm annoyed at. So I think it would be fun, kind of like chill different video to talk about pet peeves. Maybe even get Riley involved, because he's got some funny ass pet peeves. Oh, I love the way this concealer blends. It's really nice. Maybelline always really has great like face products. I always feel like I trust their concealers and foundations like the most. I feel like they're the best quality. For bronzer now, we're going in with our bronzer. We got Island Ting from Fenty Beauty. We are gonna chisel her away. Not anything too crazy here, you know. I feel like as far as fall makeup goes, like bronzers are pretty self-explanatory, you know. I always like to take my bronzer down my neck, like just in case, you know. I think that's always kind of like a good rule of thumb, just to like bring it down there. And then what I want to do is like a blush. Like fall blushes are so cute, so I want to make sure we get a good nice fall blush in here. So this is from Milani Cosmetics. This is in the shade Tea Rose. I think that this is a really cute fall blush because it's light and kind of pale, and it kind of just like, you know, sits really good there. And I always get a little bit on my nose because why not? And then for highlight, I don't want to go too crazy with highlighter because I feel like fall highlighter highlighter in general is like a little bit more toned down. I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup one, but where the hell is it? This is Iced from Milk Makeup, and I'm not gonna get like a lot on my brush because I really don't want it to be like, I feel like highlighter is more, I mean, like crazy highlighter is summery, spring vibes, maybe the holidays, New Year's, stuff like that. But I feel like this awkward time of year, it's all about like kind of matte vibes. But a girl still needs to have her highlighter popping. You know what I'm saying? So for the lower lash line, all I'm really going to be doing is taking the shade Sting and that one shade from the Kathleen palette. Sorry, I have like 12 palettes on my desk right now. I really need to clean it up. But the shade Garnet. And I'm going to be putting that in the outer corners of the under eye. Really just dramatizing it towards the end here. And whatever I have left on my brush, I'm just swooping. But I'm putting Garnet down first. Now, where the hell did I put this little remote? You guys, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing everything here. Okay, so we got our lip liner here. MAC Cosmetics in the shade Vino. This is like the perfect fall lip liner you will ever find. Also, a little trick with MAC liners. I find that you definitely want to rub off the first layer that they have on the back of your hand. That way it applies like way smoother. And also, I do feel like it's very necessary if you are going to do some type of like fall makeup look to have this dark lip liner. And you do have to go over it a few times. You see what I mean? Like this is the first coat on the top of my lip. Bottom lip, we went over it a few times. So just keep that in mind too when you're using a MAC lip liner or just any lip liner for that matter of fact, you know what I mean? And for the full lip, I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop Ultra Satin in the shade Misbehaving. Okay, you guys, and this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little fall makeup tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed talking about relationships and all that other jazz. And if there's ever anything else you guys want me to talk about, I love talking, if you couldn't tell. I'm always here for you guys, and I hope that it was helpful. And happy fall, even though I hate it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.